Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Irwindale Speedway. We're here for the Super Star ARCA West Series. I'm in the booth here with Jesse Becker. Jesse, how you doing here tonight?
Doing good tonight. Good to be here with you, Blake, and glad to be here at beautiful sunny Irwindale Speedway for the Superstar ARCA West Series tonight.
Yeah, most definitely. We just watched a couple of heat races there a minute ago. What are your thoughts here tonight after seeing a couple of heat races?
We got a couple of fast guys out here tonight to watch. Several drivers looking quick tonight. They're going to be riding that wall. It's basically only one lane up near the top, and to make a pass, you're going to have to really fight for it. It's not going to be easy here tonight, so keep an eye on that. Watch how tough it's going to be for people to pass.
Absolutely, and this is our first race since the split up here. You guys might have heard Superstar ARCA East has split into two series, which is now the West, and then we also have the East Series, which is going on right now but not broadcasted.
Yeah, the West is kind of the middle class here. The East is more of the beginner series, and then of course all these guys here in the ARCA Superstar ARCA West Series looking to make their way into the Cup, the premier series here in the Superstar ARCA leagues.
Yeah, and it appears they tried to split the field based on iRating and some other factors. So the idea here is to put the better racers out of the split into the West, that's what we're broadcasting here tonight. There should be some good action. We got some quick guys. Looks like there's about 21, 22 cars signed in here tonight.
Yeah, it looks to be about that many. And speaking of quick guys, we've got one very important thing to mention before we get into this race, and that's going to be the Rogue Energy Pole Award. If you're ready
to graphic, go ahead, Jesse.
You're all good. If you're ready to take your sim racing to the next level, Rogue Energy is the ultimate gaming energy drink loaded with vitamins, minerals, and amino acids. Get laser-like focus, increased motivation, and longer endurance to excel on the track. Whether you're battling for the lead or fighting for the Hutchinson Motorsports battle for last, Rogue Energy will give you the edge that you need. Use code RER at checkout for 10% off your purchase. That is code RER at checkout. 10% off your purchase. Don't just play, dominate with Rogue Energy.
Great job, Jesse. And it must feel good. You're not stuck down in the pits. You're up here in the booth tonight. It's a much better view up here, isn't it?
Yeah, and this place up here in the booth, y'all at least get a little bit of air conditioning. Usually I'm walking around the pits sweating in this 95-degree heat. My butt crack is like a swamp. But up here in the booth, I'm out of the sun, in a little bit of AC. It's a lot better than being on the pit road.
And it has to feel good because, we had Christian up here the last handful of weeks, and we just had to demote him. We saw the jokes he pulled the last week or two, and we were just kind of over it. So we sent him down there to report on pit road here tonight.
Yeah, a lot of people loved his cheesy one-liners. I guess somebody higher up didn't enjoy him and decided to punish him a little bit. But if it helps me be again in the AC, not in the sun, I appreciate it. As it's time for these drivers to get gridded up here.
Absolutely. So we're going to get the field set here. We're going to pull up the grid, find some Hutchinson Motorsports TV banger music to play in the background, and we're just about ready to roll here at Irwindale Speedway, folks. Let's get it rolling here. I'm not feeling that. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Irwindale Speedway. Tonight, we are here for 100 laps. It's going to be a good one. Let's pull up your starting lineup. Tonight's starting lineup on the front row, kicking off from the pole position. He is your pole award winner, the 59, Giovanni Klein. On his outside, the 20, Noah Till.
Row 2 going to have Noah Benson in the third spot, the 22, and to his outside is going to be Tyler Hessler.
Row number 3 on the inside, going to be the fan favorite, the number 8, Dwayne Young on his outside, the 28. He has had a heck of a season, a lot of drama. It's Ryan Nardone.
Row number 4 starts out on the inside with Tyler Greneau, former winner here in the Superstar ARCA East, now part of the West Series. To his outside is going to be the 74 of Devin McIntosh.
Row number 5 on the inside, it's the hometown hero from down the road, the number 3, Thomas Spencer. On his outside, he's one to watch, always up front, the 45, Bryce Barlow.
Row number 6 on the inside, you got the wild man himself, Alan Wild. And to his outside, the number 9 of Shane Williams. Couple good results for him recently.
And the last row we're going to call out here tonight, row number 7 on the inside, the 15. Nathan Lehman on his outside, the 18, Travis Sheet. And folks, if we didn't say your favorite driver, it's because they're slow, they're chilling, they're in the back, they got some work to do. So there's your starting lineup here, Jesse. Heading into this one, who do you think the favorite is?
Who do I think the favorite is? I mean, Klein was the number 1 car in practice, the number 1 car in qualifying. It seems like it's going to take a lot for anybody to take him off the throne here tonight. He finished 2nd last week, been the fastest car so far today. I'm picking the 59.
All right, Jesse going with the 59. My pick here tonight, I think he's going to pull it off. I got the 82 of Tyler Hessley, the Fort Mill, South Carolina. He's always up front. I think he's going to pull it off here. But we got 100 laps. Think the pace car's headed in. We are just about ready to roll and go green here at Irwindale Speedway. We're on the oval, not the figure 8 tonight. And the field is set. We are bunched up. Front row going to be Giovanni Klein on the outside. Noah Tills on the inside into the restart zone. Green flag in the air.
He gets a good jump into turn 1. He gets ahead. The 20 of Till's going to fall in behind, take that 2nd spot over. They're still side by side for 3rd, Wrestling and Benson.
Yeah, the whole field stacked up. We're still clean and green, and as we're running the top, looks like it's going to be top lane dominant here tonight, Jesse, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's going to be hard to pass. Oh, he's going around in the back. I think that's Greno. Yes,
what
it
a
is.
save. Greno still rolling, but he's going to drop all the way to the back. Not a good feeling for Greno as he started near the front. Here he is, running in last.
Well, we've seen the 81 of Greno through this early season when we were doing the Super Star ARCA East races. He had to fight through a lot of adversity in those races, and he's able to make his way back to the front. We'll see if he can manage to do that tonight. He might need a yellow or two, though.
I'm sure he's going to get them. We got some close quarters racing, but this has been good so far. Let's hop on board with somebody in the back. Let's go to the hometown hero, the number 3, Thomas Spencer. Jesse, take us around the track as we hop in the Hutchinson Motorsports cockpit here with Thomas Spencer.
Yeah, see, he was battling the 46 car there for a little bit, decided to give that spot up. He's running a little bit lower than the guys in front of him. We'll see if it'll help or hurt him. He is the only SAC driver to actually drive a stock car at Irwindale in real life, as you can see there next to his pictures. So maybe he has a few things up his sleeve that none of these other drivers know about.
Yeah, maybe so. And that is one beautiful picture, isn't it, Jesse? It's got
Yeah, absolutely. That face is incredible. Super glad to see that. But you know who else has a great picture? That's the guy in the lead, Giovanni Klein, with the mirror selfie.
Absolutely. I'm not going to lie. If I'm swiping on a dating app and that pops up, I might just have to swipe right with Giovanni Klein with the mirror pic.
Absolutely, especially if the bio mentions Super Star ARCA West Pole Award winner. That might really get the ladies.
Absolutely. From Winston-Salem, North Carolina, that's definitely a racer's area, and Giovanni Klein is no exception to that rule.
I will say the ladies around Winston-Salem are nothing to scoff at. They're not too bad out there near the mountains.
Now, Jesse, we know you're over from around Wilmington, North Carolina. How far is Winston-Salem from you? Pretty far, I'd assume, huh?
Well, you would think it's the same state. It can't be too far. It's honestly probably about 4 hours. I haven't looked up Winston-Salem in a while, but it's quite a trip. I once took that trip via Greyhound bus when I was younger, and it took a long time.
I would imagine, but right now, look at this beautiful view as we're up in our Hutchinson Motorsports. We leave our eyes in the sky. This is incredible here at Irwindale Speedway. We are still clean and green on lap number 10.
Yeah, I guess we make enough money to keep the blimp coming to these races all the way out here in Irwindale. Glad the blimp can keep showing up and providing these quality shots. It hasn't been, I don't even know how you'd repossess a blimp, but we've gotten close.
And boy, I tell you what, Tyler Greno's struggling. He's still running in last right now. Cannot get around that 14-car Fryer. Might have some flat spots on those tires as the Roxbury, New Jersey is struggling.
Yeah, he's winning that battle for last right now from everything I can see. That's an unusual name with that title.
Absolutely. And since we're on it here, let's go ahead and pull it up. The most beautiful graphic in the business. The Hutchinson Motorsports TV battle for last. We're watching them duke it out. That is Nathan Pryor in the 14, Tyler Gurneau in the 81. Jesse, take us around the track as we watch the Hutchinson Motorsports TV battle for last.
Yeah, you see Gurneau, he's able to dive to the inside of the 14 of Fryer and take that pass, which makes Nathan Fryer the winner right now of that Hutchinson Motorsports TV battle for last. Now, Gurneau, kind of an unusual name for that award. The last name of Fryer is not an unusual name for the Battle for Last award, is it, Blake?
Absolutely not. You know, back when we were down in the ARCA East up until last week, his dad, Tom Fryer, usually held that title. But now Nathan gets the promotion while his dad stays down there. And Nathan carrying on the family legacy of winning the Hutchinson Motorsports TV Battle for Last.
You know, there's a lot of cool things in sports with father and son. You look at baseball, things like Vladimir Guerrero Jr., you know, playing, whatnot. People even being on the same team, LeBron James and Bronny. Here in the Super Star ARCA Series, you get to watch Nathan Fryer and Tom Fryer potentially battle for the Hutchinson Motorsports TV Battle for Last award in 2 separate races at the same time.
Absolutely. As we're watching the Hutchinson Motorsports rear cam on your race leader, Giovanni Klein, he's still out front by a little over half a second. He's led every single lap so far.
Yeah, and we're about a fifth of the way through lap 17 of 100 of the Irwindale Memorial 100. And this is kind of exactly what I thought was going to happen based off of practice and qualifying. Klein seems to be on another level, and he is showing it so far. Till's trying to stick with him, and you got Benson there in third keeping it close. But it's a long road ahead for these guys trying to catch the 59. They need a lucky break.
And, you know, the thing here, this is a top-dominant track, and in these stock cars, that means one thing, that it's not easy to pass, folks, because when you're running the high line, that's the fast way around the track. The only way to pass is to try and go underneath. As the 9 gets a little loose, Shane Williams able to keep it rolling straight.
You got to go for a slide job to get around somebody. It's about the only way you can do it unless you give them the fender, you know, give them the bumper. As the 3's going around, Thomas Spencer able to save it. That's 2 now where I thought the drivers were going to go around. They kept it straight, so shout out to Thomas Spencer there.
Yeah,
but you pretty much got to give him the bumper.
Yeah, most definitely. And we saw how hard it is to pass. The 15 was running up on the 9 pass, got underneath them, and just could never make that pass. And now it looks like the 07 a while going to go underneath. But Jesse, I think in the chat I saw something about how long these fuel runs were. Have you seen anything? I think in the announcements channel we might have had some information on that, so we have an idea how long these guys can go.
Check into that for you. Let's see, 67% fuel. Not sure how many laps that's going to get us, but not very many.
Yeah, I can imagine. You know, we're here on 22 already. I would think this is going to be a 2-stop race for the most part, so I would expect him not to be able to make it past 33 at the most. You never know. I've been wrong before on fuel, and I think you have too as well.
I was wrong right next to you in the booth. That was back, I can't even remember what race that was now, but there's a short of it on the HMS TV YouTube channel if you can find it. Oh, caution is out. 97 and 70 getting together.
81 involved here. Not sure if he's just, yeah, he's going to be an innocent bystander. As a 3 gets into the 97. Nowhere to go, and the 70 and 81 are jumped.
Yeah, I don't know. That 97 car is so shiny. I'm not even sure how he ends up getting hit there.
Yeah, let's rewind a little bit. Now we know the 97 involved. See what happened. Yeah, I think, oh yeah, the 3 trying to take them 3 wide here, and there just wasn't room. So they're door banging up top, the 21 and the 97, and the 3 of Spencer tries to stick his nose down there. 97, not real sure. Oh no, yeah, Spencer just kind of runs through him. That's an unfortunate move there.
Yeah, Spencer, it looks like Spencer just kind of dumped him there, just junked the 97. Maybe he's got some sort of complex being that he's the only driver that's raced here in real life, but it's not helping him so far if he's taking out the 97.
And one thing I know, Tyler Gurneau is not happy. This has not been a good race. And in the pits, we've got Christian Taylor. I think Christian has caught up with the crew chief of the 81 of Tyler Gurneau. Christian, do you copy us?
I got a copy for you. It's so hot down here. Jesse, I don't know how you do it.
Christian, is it true you got to talk to the crew chief there of the 81 of Tyler Gurneau, who isn't happy right now?
Yes, I did. I am. He's out there trying to just get a run going. I talked to his crew chief before the wreck. This was before the wreck. Now he said the car is handling like a pig on a roller skates, but other than that, we're peachy. But they don't look very peachy to me, especially since the three got into them.
Absolutely. Well, Christian Taylor down in the pits still hasn't learned. He's still cracking jokes, but we appreciate it nonetheless. Jesse, what are you feeling so far here tonight?
Trying to be a serious broadcast here, but so far, a quarter of the way through the race, it's looking good. A couple of guys came in for tires. Most of the field came in for tires, and it looks like we might have had a couple stay out, or did they just beat them off of pit road? Can we see if we who pit here?
Yeah, let's go back a little bit. I might have stayed out here. Hang on. Rewinding here the old-fashioned way here. No, I think it was just a gas and you got 2 tires. That's what it was. 2 tires there for your race leader, Hessling. Ardone might be doing the same thing. Let's take a look. I would bet they would because they are teammates.
It looks like a couple of guys making some pit road plays here.
Yep, so 2 tires for your 2 leaders. I assume Klein got 4, but I can't confirm. We don't have time to confirm. But what we do have time for, take a look at this beautiful Hutchinson Motorsports TV pit strategy for Jesse. Is that not the most incredible thing you've ever seen?
It is incredible with the red and the Dodger blue there. Had to get rid of that weird yellow as the pace car is off, and these 2 teammates going to lead us to green on the front row here.
Yeah, Jesse, take us green as the teammates are out front.
Yeah, absolutely. Hessling and Nardone side by side. Tills and Klein behind. We'll see if the 59 can take back the lead, but the green flag is out. Tyler Hessling with a good jump into 1.
We're on the rear suspension cam. Tyler Hessling, your race leaders are 3 wide for second.
It's getting hairy back there. Let's see if everybody can make it through. 20 of Tills looking like he's going to make his way into second. The 59 is still trying to get by, and he can't.
Boy, Klein tried to take that bottom lane 3 wide. That's just not going to work here. That is not the fast way around the track. It is just so flat there on the bottom as we have gradual making here at Irwindale.
A new face that we haven't talked about other than the grid tonight, trying to make his way into third, the 45 of Bryce Barfield.
Yeah, he's kind of had a quiet night here so far. I haven't really heard much from him, but here he is. And it seems like every week he finds a way to get up front. And last week, I think he got in some trouble and was involved in some incidents.
Yeah, the 45 Bryce Barfield, always showing speed. He has the same honor that I have. He was the 2024 5150 Cup Series champion. I have that same title for 2022. So as a former 5150 champion, I got to say he is a really good driver. And if only he could keep his temper under control, he can find some real success in this series.
Absolutely, and his brother Peyton Barfield not here. He's been tearing it up lately. Unfortunately, he couldn't show up, but one guy to watch, Austin Gaucone. I believe he was last week's winner, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I don't even know. But all I can tell you is he started all the way back in 19th, folks. Currently, he's up to 6th, and he is no slouches. He's got a 5,354 I rating.
Yeah, the 42 of Gaucone, he was the winner last week, as you mentioned, looking like a young Kyle Larson in that 42 Target car. He's got a good run. He's right outside the top 5, and I don't know if he's faster than any of the guys ahead of him, but he's looking good so far.
Most definitely, and honestly, Jesse, I think we can confirm that the split of the ARCA E Series was the right move because we have had an incredibly clean race here so far, don't you think?
I think so. 35 laps out of 100 here in the Irwindale Speedway Memorial 100, and it's been clean and green with the exception of one wreck. Everybody's single file right now. I don't see anybody really making any bonehead moves either. It seems most of the people that are setting up their passes are doing them the right way, with the exception of the 3-car Thomas Spencer.
And I'm trying to take a look here at the 81 Tyler Gurneau as Jesse Becker flying around the Hutchinson Motorsports drone. Does he have... Oh, we got the 18 sideways. We're still green for now. Are we going to keep it green?
We'll see if the yellow flag does fly. For some reason, timing and scoring putting him in the lead. That doesn't make any sense. That's now fixed. That was a weird moment.
Yeah, I was trying to find him. I scrolled down to the bottom, and he was nowhere to be found. But, yeah, we're still clean and green. But it looked like, did you notice some damage there on the 81 of Gurneau? He was involved in that wreck earlier.
It does look like his front end is a little bent out of shape. I'm not sure how much that's going to affect him here at such a short track like this. But if it does affect him any, that's not good for the 81.
Now, tell you, it's not affecting his teammate. My pick to win, Tyler Hessling, as he's leading this race, trying to hold off the 20 of Noah Tills. And I tell you what, Tills always finds a way to be involved at the end of these races, and as he's trying to do the bump and run on the 82.
Yeah, it's another thing. As short of a track like this, I feel like dirty air doesn't play as much of a role as it normally does. But the 59 of Klein, after leading so many laps early, he's kind of been stuck in that 5th spot, hasn't been able to move forward. As this battle for the lead is starting to spice up, we'll see if Tills can make the slide job and take over the lead here.
Absolutely, and Jesse, I'm trying to control this drone flying around. They're throwing dirty air on me, but this is side-by-side action. And boy, what a clean run here. Noah Tills trying to finish the pass heading into turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, I think he's going to be able to cover him up here coming onto the front stretch, and he does. We've got a new leader, and that's the 20 of Noah Tills.
Boy, that was a good battle right there. You know, I'm not to bash it, but we didn't see battles like that heading into the ARCA East Series. There's just something about this West Series, a new series. It's a rebrand. We brought up, you know, quote unquote, the better drivers, not to bash anybody, but it's definitely paying off here tonight as these guys are battling hard and battling clean.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure what the strength of field is, but I'm sure it's a number a lot higher than it used to be when the two series were combined, and it's been a good result. We keep talking about it, but the racing is a lot cleaner than we've seen in past weeks, and this is exactly what everybody was hoping for with this move. We were going to have some clean green flag racing and some good battles.
And you know, Jesse, I'm looking in my binoculars right now into the infield, and I think I see Christian Taylor at the concession stand. Christian, are you down there, and why the hell are you at the concession stand while we're green?
Man, I'm bored, man. I'm just trying to get this race going. I did talk to the crew chief of the 18 after his spin. He said the car is fine, but pride not so much. His crew chief is not happy with his driver out there.
That's some good reporting there. But I will say, you know, he might be struggling. He's running 20th right now, but that is one beautiful car, isn't it, Jesse?
That is a beautiful car. Real quick, Christian, what concession stand options we got down here? Anything special for Irwindale?
Well, I don't know what's special to this track. I did just drop my corn dog trying to turn my mic back on. But I can say, you know, you mentioned your swamp behind. My Ganolas and Crack are fighting right now for whose swamp is in control.
10-4 on that, buddy. It is hot out there. Stay hydrated and get you another corn dog.
I ain't drinking no water. I'm drinking Rogue Energy out here. I'm hyped up.
Hell yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Christian Taylor's slamming Rogue Energies, and you know, he's going to complain about how hot it is out there. It is 76 degrees, Christian. You need to suck it up.
That's going to be a problem. He might need to.
That's not showing the dew point. It's humid. Okay, it's humid.
All right. Christian claiming it's humid down there. 76 degrees. It's going to be a long summer for Christian Taylor as he's down in the pits. Reporting caution.
I don't know what the caution is for. I don't see anything
either.
That's interesting.
Doan just went down pit road, so fortunately
it looks
there.
Like I'm seeing the crew chiefs of the 21 and 81 arguing. I think the incident was between them. They got in a little bit of a scuffle on the track.
Let's rewind a bit here and see if the 21's involved. And if it was, oh, yeah, the 81. Boy, what a rough race for the 81. Let's take a look here as the 21 of Benson seems a junkie. So they're heading into turn 1 here. 21 gets a run on the 81 of Greneau. And, yeah, coming out of the corner, he just dumps him.
Yeah, the 81 of Greneau has had a very rough night so far. The 21 of Benson and that body armor machine must have thought the front of his car had armor on it. He could just run over the 81. It didn't work out too well for either party.
You know, it's just crazy. It's been such a clean race, but unfortunately the 81's been involved in like 3 wrecks as the 81 gets into the wall here, heading in the corner. Benson with a big run out of Virginia. He just flat out dumps him.
Yeah, that Tyler Greneau has found a way into every single issue here tonight. Unfortunate for the driver of the 81, but it's only halfway through. He's still got time to turn it around as we're going to see who's going to take the lead over in this thing.
And I can tell why Ryan Nardone was out pit road when that caution came out. He somehow junked his front bumper. Maybe we can get Christian to do some reporting down in the pits here in the next few laps and see if we can figure out what happened to the 28 Ryan Nardone.
Yeah, that car is junk, and that's something you Nard don't want to do.
Well, Jesse, you keep it up, you're going to be down in the pits next week, buddy.
Oh gosh, don't send me to the gulag like that, Blake.
Yeah, but looks like your race leader going to be Devin McIntosh. Not sure what his pit strategy was there, but I think he did pit. Let's pull up the pit strategy board to confirm. Got to give it a lap. No, it looks like our top 4 did not pit.
Investigate that for you here.
It appears, like I said, top 4, both the Bensons, and then you got McComas and your race leader, McIntosh. And then the first car out off of pit road is Giovanni Klein, who was struggling in the dirty air, trying to make passes. It is just so hard to pass here.
Yep, your first 4 drivers did not come down pit road.
Absolutely. And Christian, you got anything for us down there?
I sure do. I was able to just watch some footage. It looks like the 59 of Giovanni. Giovanni was the one who took Ryan Nardone, gave him a little tap going into the turn and sent him head on at a wall, stepped over his dead body and kept driving.
My, yeah, you know, Klein was, we know he's one of the faster cars out there, and he was just stuck in traffic and just must have got sick of waiting. And I'm trying to find the wreck, and it's just not in my
That was
logs.
back on lap 47.
We'll manually do it. It's the ugly way to do it, but we'll be able to.
Green flag, green
Never
flag.
mind. Like that, we're not going to.
I missed the green flag action.
Take us around, Jesse.
Yeah, they're dogfighting here. The 74 McIntosh holding on the lead. The 22 of Benson's up there. They're 3 wide right now for 4th with McComas, Barfield, and the other Benson.
They're trying to bring a
It is
4 and
carnage.
5 wide. What's going on?
Oh,
These
the
guys
45's going around. The 21 is
Yellow
junk.
flag.
Oh my, Jesse, I saw that happen. We had 3 wide through half the field, and these guys just lost their cool as we're over halfway done.
Yeah, absolutely. They must be realizing they're not meeting the caution quota, and they're having to bump those numbers up because they're rookie numbers. I think just what happened there is one of those 3 drivers didn't realize they were 3 wide, and that's what ensues is somebody gets squeezed and there's nowhere to go. Unfortunately for Barfield and Benson, they're the ones that get the worst of it, although the 70 does get clipped later.
Yeah, Jesse, you know, watching the replay myself, it looks like this, you know, the 70, he's just trapped in the middle here. So we're going to rewind a little bit and play from here. So keep an eye on that 70. He's trapped in the middle. He doesn't have much room, and he ends up coming up to junk the 45 here in the next corner. So they're coming down the back stretch. Go ahead, Jesse.
It looks like the 21 here as they go through turns 3 and 4. It looks like when we come out of this corner here, the 21 might not realize that they're still 3 wide. At the same time, though, the 70 and 45, I don't know if they had anywhere they could really go. But the 21 actually didn't make contact until afterwards.
And, of course, Tyler Gurneau involved just slightly.
You know, I think the 81 might have his own YouTube short of him getting caught up in every single mess that's happened in these 58 laps. It's almost impressive at this point.
Yeah, you know, it just was a crazy restart. Go ahead.
I got a report from Renault. His crew chief just told him he wants him to go out there and brake check the pace car. That way every car on track tonight could have hit him.
Oh, that's a good point. You know, I think that is the only car left that the 81 hasn't been involved in. And unfortunately, I mean, I don't think the 81's really caused any of these incidents. He's just been in the wrong place at the wrong time every single time here tonight.
Pretty much it. The 74 McIntosh looks like he's going to be able to hold on to the lead. He stays out once again. A handful of drivers did come down pit road. I believe that's, who is that Lehman? Nathan Lehman in second. Giovanni Klein making his way back to third. We'll see if he can get back to the lead with these cars on older tires in front of him.
Yeah, I believe Klein is the leader on his pit strategy, which is where you want to be. So hopefully he can find his way back out front. Should be good on fuel until at least, I'd say, lap probably 75, 80. He's probably going to have to pit one more time, but there's no telling.
Lehman in the 15 did come down pit road on lap 51, but I'm not sure exactly what kind of tire strategy that the 15 is on either.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a big crevice. Looks like he hit a light pole on the 15 car in the front of his car whenever you see his nose around, but shouldn't bother him too much here as the field is set. We're ready to roll. Green flag in the air, and he gets the bumper.
Massive checkup on the inside. Everybody looks to be okay, though. That was a hard hit.
Trying to
the
wreck up
74
here.
almost goes around. Oh, 15 is around. Caution back out.
Man, these guys.
It's starting to go downhill, Blake.
They're getting hyper aggressive. We had honestly probably some of the best racing we've seen all year long early on, and these guys they're just trying to win it now here on lap number 60.
Oh, and that's what happens when you come to a track like this where it's so hard to pass. These guys realize the only opportunity they're really going to get is when everybody's bunched up, so they're going for every move they possibly can. Because if you end up single filing out, it's going to take a lot more effort to get by somebody.
Yeah, and I was just watching this replay here, and what happens is it looks like the 15 of Lehman gets into the leader, so he checks up to not junk him, and the guy behind him just didn't have much time to react, and he ends up turning him. Here it is. You see the 74 gets bumped by the 15. So the 15 checks up. The 59, wham, didn't see it coming. Smokes him, turns him. 46 collected. Where's the 81? I'm sure he hit something. Oh, no, 81. And Greno gets by.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily putting that one on the 15. His nose was inside of the leader. But, yeah, he did go to check up after that little bump there. And as you said, Klein, I believe, was the car behind him who was not ready for the checkup. And then chaos ensued once again.
Yeah, you know, just aggressive.
Crew chief.
Go ahead,
I
Christian.
spoke to his crew chief, but I can't repeat it on air what his crew chief said, so we're going to have to keep it there. Just trust me, folks, it's not pretty.
And you're talking about the 15 of Lehman, right?
That is right. He said something that, you know, if I said right now, YouTube would take us off the air.
All right, Christian, it looks like they're fixing on the car, so run down there, go to the window of the 15 car and talk to him and see what he's got to say here while they're fixing on the car.
All right, bear with me 1 second. What's that?
Nice.
You're gonna you're gonna do what? Oh, he said that race leader better keep his you know what in check because he's coming for him. He ain't gonna win this race.
Uh-oh, that's Devin McIntosh, who's now in second, but he was the leader at the time. The 15 not happy. Christian Taylor down there reporting car side in the pits. Now, Jesse, your pick to win it here tonight, I believe you took Giovanni Klein, right?
I did. His car is not looking the best out there right now. It's kind of missing the entire front clip, but here at Irwindale, hopefully he can still have some speed as long as the tires are all straight. I think we're getting ready to go back green flag racing here as Noah Tills and McIntosh are going to take it away.
Yes, we are. Front row going to be Tills on the outside as your race leader. The 74 of McIntosh on the inside. Pace car is off. Field is set. Green flag in the air at Irwindale.
And the 59 of Klein right there with the leader gets a good enough jump to move himself up into second. They're going to be side by side for third, fourth, and fifth behind.
Well, Jesse, they're racing hard through the field. We might see another pile up here any moment as they're going 3 wide once again for the 3rd time in a row.
Yeah, there's a blue car back there. I'm not sure what number that is, but he's going lower on the track than anyone I've seen so far tonight. I think that might be the 1 car. We'll see if that works out at all for him. I don't think it will, though.
I don't know. Maybe he's thinking it's the shortest way around the track, so it's not that bad.
Well, you can't use mathematics here when you got progressive banking like they do at Irwindale. The quick way around is the outside. Yellow flag back out. Not exactly sure what happened.
This is not it. This is the last wreck. Yeah, no, thing's not showing, so we're just going to pause it here and try to manually find it. Let's dig through the field.
Blake, the Christian in the pits, Travis Sheen and 19th was involved.
Yep, there it is. The 19 just gets turned by the 45 of Barfield. And honestly, I don't think Barfield really did anything wrong there. Just a bad racing deal. Let's rewind it again, get a little better view. Here's we jump up into Hutchinson Motorsports blimp. Wow, what a view. Jesse, walk us through this incident here between the 45 and the 18.
All right, as we play it here, you can see the 18 goes in the corner a little hot. Has to check up a little bit. Can't see it with the billboards, but he might scrape the wall there, and I don't think the 45 was expecting the checkup. And around goes the 18. Not much damage from that wreck, just some hurt pride probably.
Yeah, so we're going to hop on board in the Hutchinson Motorsports cockpit view. Maybe we can get a better look, see if he gets into the wall here at 18. Heading into the corner.
Yeah, he was throwing that thing in there.
He might have tapped it, but honestly, I just think he kind of overshot it in the corner and was trying to slow the car down. The 45 was right there and ends up turning.
That's as easy as it could be here at a track like this where everybody's so compact, so close together. One little checkup could seal the deal, spin somebody around.
Absolutely, but I tell you what, let's take our first break. We haven't had one. We want to play some of these Hutchinson Motorsports TV banger tunes. We'll be back here in a jiffy. Hutchinson Motorsports TV, be sure like and subscribe to the page. We'll be back here in a jiffy. Thanks for tuning. And we're back live here, just about to go green. Pace car is in. Field is ready to roll.
Green, green, green.
Green flag in the air here at Irwindale. Jesse, take us into turn 1.
Tills gets a good jump. Klein going to fall in behind. The 74 McIntosh still keeping his name up there. He's going to take over the 3rd spot. You got Brannigan and Williams behind, fighting it out for it looks like the 4th or 5th spot. Or that's Hessling, I'm sorry, who's door to door, 46.
Jesse, they are door banging each other down the front stretch. So 42 in the 07 battling right now for the 7th position.
Yeah, there's battles all throughout the field, even for 2nd here. The 74 McIntosh trying to get around Klein for 2nd. The 59 struggling. The 74 gets loose out of that spot.
Look at that car. He's got no front bumper, but Giovanni Klein is still wheeling that thing. Still one of the faster cars on the track.
Yeah, I think the only thing hurting the 59 here is less the drag on the straightaways, but probably more of the aerodynamics going into the corner, keeping the nose planted. He doesn't have those like the other drivers have right now. It might be hurting the 59.
And it's definitely slowing him down. You know, he just has nothing for the 20 of Tills. He's trying to hang on to 2nd, which is pretty impressive. But here comes the 3 Thomas Spencer trying to work through the field as he's trying to take over the 8th position from the 42.
Spencer, we haven't talked about the 3 car much since he smoked whoever that was. I can't even remember who it was now, but he's making his way back through the field, as you mentioned, taking over that 8th spot. This is the best we've seen out of the 3 car tonight, Spencer.
Yeah, he's finally figuring out the track as we're on the Hutchinson Motorsports nose cam with the 3 of Thomas Spencer, still trying to take over that spot here as he's battling Austin Gawcon on his outside.
Yeah, just another testament here as we're on lap 78 of how hard it is to pass here. As we've got another move for the 2nd spot not working for the 74. Klein able to hold on to that spot for now. The 74 might have opened himself up to the 82 of Hessling behind here, though. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, you know, like you mentioned, it's hard to pass, and you can definitely tell the 59 kind of holding the pack up as they're bunched up behind him, and he gets into the wall. He is trying to drive that thing to the finish with just 21 laps left to go this time around.
Well, as you see it pass for a 3rd here, Hessling going to take that spot from the 74 potentially. You're seeing almost the same thing on repeat. You see someone dive to the inside of the car ahead of them, and the car that makes the move to the inside getting loose out of the corner.
Fryer involved here. Let's see what happened.
And the 81 of Tyler Greneau, of course, has to be
Fryer
involved.
just turns him. It looks, hang on.
I think that's number 5.
Let's make sure here. So you see the 14 there, a Fryer on the bottom. We got the 81 in front of him. Heading into the corner, he just kind of dive bombs him, it looks like maybe here. It comes up the track, yeah. 81 didn't really do anything. He was holding his line. Nathan Fryer junks him.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to the 14 car. He just got on the loud pedal a little too much and just comes up to the 81 and smokes him. Just maybe he said, you know what, this guy's been caught up in everything so far. I want my name to be added to the list of cars that have wrecked the 81 or hit him in some other way tonight.
Absolutely, and you know, right now this is really going to change things up. Tyler Hessling, one of the faster cars on the track, finally got around the 74, and on this restart, he's going to be on that preferred high line as the 59 of Klein going to have to be stuck on the bottom. Probably going to give up 2nd place here if Hessling can get a good jump.
Oh my, I got a report down here from the pits. Tyler Gernot's crew chief said, I've had enough. He grabbed the jack handle and started walking to Nathan Fryer's pit box. I asked him what he's going to do. He says, I just want to talk to him. I asked, why do you have the jack handle? His response was, I just want to talk to him. Keep an eye out for that, folks.
All right, Christian, be sure to check out what's going on here. See if a fight breaks out mid-race, or if they're at least going to wait for the end of this one as we got, 18 laps left remaining here.
There might be some assault with a deadly weapon charges coming for the crew chief of the 81 unless he rethinks his decision. But we're getting close to the end here. I'm not shocked that most of these guys stayed out. I see no reason to pit from here on out if I'm out there.
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure everybody should be good on fuel. And Carl Cantona's worked himself up to 11th here. He's had a rough night. I believe he was involved in an early wreck or two, but he's also a Californian, so this is probably a pretty close track for him.
Yeah, I have no clue where Placentia, California is compared to Irwindale. I have no clue where Irwindale is compared to the rest of the state of California. But
yeah, you know,
I mean,
Jesse,
maybe it's close.
There's one way to check this, and this is how we're going to do it. Hey Siri, how far is Placentia, California from Irwindale Speedway? What she's got to say.
To unlock your iPhone first.
Hang on. Well, that's not going to work here, folks. I'm just going to.
We're getting ready to go green.
Take us green, Jesse.
Green flag is out. Tills gets a good jump. 59 of Klein going to hang on to that second spot somehow with that lump of junk. They're too wide behind him. The 82 of Hessling and the 74 McIntosh get to battling again.
And Jesse, I can confirm Cyril when they got a bumper up front as a 74 trying to work up to the field. But I can confirm Placentia, California is only 33 miles from Irwindale Speedway.
Man, that's right down the road, as we would say over here in North Carolina. I'm not sure if they would say the same thing for that distance, but I think the 74 is frustrated right now on the radio with the 59, how slow he is holding up the field.
He most definitely is. You know, we know Klein battling with that junk car. He's doing all he can. I can't blame him. I mean, you're not going to be pulling over out there. Even when the junk cars, the 82 gets stuffed into the wall.
That was a hard impact. We'll see if the 82 has any trouble with the car after that one. And look at Thomas Spencer up to 5th now.
Yeah, the 07 got turned there, nearly was able to save it, and Thomas Spencer working through the field. The field filler, Thomas Spencer, he is the hometown hero. Can he keep moving through the field as he's up to 5th? Let's hop on the Hutchinson Motorsports rear suspension cam.
Yeah, this race is getting crazy as we get down to the wire here. Almost getting to 10 laps to go, and it's really spicing things up, but we're staying green.
And Noah Tills out front. He's got the rolling chicane behind him, Giovanni Klein with the damaged car. So, I mean, Tills has to be feeling good. If this thing stays green, this is definitely his race to win.
Yeah, I think if Tills does come away with this thing, he's got to slip Giovanni Klein a part of that prize money, because the 59 is doing God's work for Noah Tills right now, driving that lump of junk and keeping it in 2nd ahead of these guys.
Yes, he is. We jump back a little bit. Carl Cantonis up to 8th. He is your Hutchinson Motorsports CV hard charger as a 46 trying to make a move. He's gained 13 spots since the start of this race. Started all the way back in the 21st position.
Not only that, he had some adversity earlier getting involved in a wreck, but able to bounce back. So we're officially 10 laps to go here, and that lead just continues to grow. Caution is out, though.
Not what your race leader wanted to see. It looks like Stephen McComas, who almost passed away earlier this season, got junked. Let's see what happened.
The zombie of McComas involved somehow. We'll see what happens in this replay in the 81 again. That's number 6.
All right, now
how many will we have?
Now this one, I will add, it kind of looks like the 81. Well, I don't know. The 70's on the wall. Let's go back a little bit more. Get a little better of a look here. I kind of think the 81.
Incredible.
Let's see what happens. So you see the 71 sitting in there a little hard. Gets into the wall. Wreck's not happening yet. I believe it's in the next one. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, 70 just stuck in the wall. Yeah, oh, yeah, nothing in the 81.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, the 81.
14 of Fryer involved again.
Yeah, Renault really couldn't have done anything different there. I mean, he had no room to go low. He checked up as much as he could. The 70 was just stuck into the wall. Let's hop on board with Stephen McComas. See what happened here as he's stuck in the wall. Oh, I felt
right
that feeling
board.
before. You know, you're in the wall, you're trying to floor it, and the car just will not go.
Yeah, the zombie of Stephen McComas getting up in the glue trap that's known as the wall in iRacing. Can't get the car to go anywhere. And who else would be behind him but the 81 of Gurno?
Yeah, and that's really going to spice things up here. Noah Tills had this race in the bag. Now he's got Shane Williams right behind him. He's going to start side by side with him, and then the 59 of Klein going to start on the outside line.
Now he's going to be on the inside.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, so then outside's going to be McIntosh and then Spencer on the inside of row 3.
We'll see if it gets spicy. The 74 and 59, I don't think are too happy with each other right now. The 74 saying, dude, get your lump of junk with 4 wheels off the track out of my way. I'm trying to win this race. And the 59 of Klein basically just saying, no, you.
And we're checking out the chat here, which we haven't done yet. Bones does in the chat. He's from Athens, Ohio. Well, we appreciate you tuning in, Bones. Folks, we haven't said it much because we just had so much action here tonight. But please be sure, click the like button on the video. Subscribe to the page. It really helps out. It's free. And we got some cool stuff coming up. We might include some giveaways here shortly in the coming weeks. But be sure to like and subscribe to the page as we get to the finish here. 6 laps remaining. The field is set. We're ready to roll. And the green flag about to come out. Jesse, take us around.
We'll see if Tills can get the jump to steal it. He gets way out ahead of the 9. Shane Williams going to fall into 2nd. The 74 will get by the 59 of Giovanni Klein fairly easily and cover that spot up for 3rd. We'll see if the 20 is going to be able to run away from these guys without the 59's help this time.
Shane Williams trying out that bottom line. I think he went low a little bit too early. We know the high line's a place to be, but just 4 laps left to go. Williams going to need to figure something out.
Yeah, you've got to wonder how much the dirty air really affects these cars at a track this short. He might just be trying to run a different lane than your leader to get the clean air as the 59 Klein decides to finally park it now that he's not in second.
They're dooring each other back here. Carl Cantona is working through the field. He's up to 6. Just door slammed Hessling there in the 82. So watch these guys right here. They might be jumping in here shortly.
Yeah, Carl Cantona's finally putting together a drive here in the Super Star ARCA Series. Usually having a lot of issues, but he's had one issue tonight. Otherwise kept it clean, and he's having a good run, but we're 2 to go here.
And we got a lap car coming up, the 81. I believe he just came out of the pits. Tyler Grano's still logging some laps, even though he's been involved in about 12 wrecks. But we're coming to the white flag. If we can take it this time, we're not going to have any more cautions as they're coming out of turns 3 and 4.
Checkered flag going to be waving this lap. 1 and 2 looking good for the 20 of Noah Tills. The 9's going to have to really make a move here in 3 and 4 to get this win.
Yep, heading into 3 and 4 for the last time. Shane Williams going all the way to the bottom, looking to make a move. It's not going to be enough. Coming out of turn 4, Irwindale Speedway, your race winner, Noah Tills, parks it in victory lane.
Shane Williams bringing home a nice P2 finish. McIntosh finally filling out the podium. Bryce Barfield bringing home 4th, and Cantonis finishing 5th.
Absolutely. As our drivers get ready here, we're going to pull. Oh, we got some after race contact there. Not sure what's going on. Didn't really see who that was, but Noah Tills, your winner. Your other 2 on the podium going to be Williams and McIntosh. Let's get Devin McIntosh in here if we can see him in one of these chats here.
Doesn't look like he's in any of the chats, but we've got 2nd and 1st in here with us.
All right, well, let's go ahead pull in 2nd place. Maybe if somebody could let McIntosh know in the chat to join a channel, we'll get him in here 2nd. We'll get our 2nd place finisher in here, Shane Williams. Looks like a good run for him.
Shane Williams, it's Blake and Jesse up in the booth. You got a copy?
Gotcha.
Man, we saw you trying to run Tills down there with the last lap desperation move. Didn't quite work out for you, but 2nd is still a good finish. What did you think about the race tonight on your end?
Well, I thought it was going to be one lane pretty much the whole way, but there towards the end, I started to find a little bit of traction down in like a lane lower, so I was able to climb back up through the top and yeah, I'll take 2nd place after starting in the back and running back there most of the night.
Yeah, definitely, Shane. And, you know, like you said, you started near the back. I think you were starting around 11th there. What were you thinking there? You know, we had a clean, long green run to start the race, and then we just had like 3 or 4 straight cautions in a row.
When we was green, I was kind of worried that it was going to stay green the whole time. I think those cautions actually, I took 2 tires on that first caution and got up there a little bit closer, and I think it helped with the strategy a little bit. Then everybody had different wear on their tires, and it helped, you know, make more lines.
Absolutely. Well, hey, before you head out, you got anything for our great fans at home? Any shout-outs?
Just a sponsor on my hood, R&R Stump Grinding. My best friend Tyler, he sponsored my car this year. Shout out to him and my teammate Noah.
All right, well, that's good to hear. And hey, before you run out of here, Christian's down on pit road. Christian, you got anything for our 2nd place finisher, Shane Williams?
Nothing besides good job on your run and enjoy that 2nd place prize money.
I appreciate that, man.
All right, well, hey, congratulations. We'll send you back out of your way. You can celebrate your 2nd place finish here tonight. We hope to see you back in here in the future.
Oh, for sure. Thank you.
All right, well, that's Shane Williams, your 2nd place finisher. We're not going to have our 3rd place finisher, but Jesse, before we talk to our winner, I'm going to pull somebody down in here. Oh, hang on, he's not in there.
Uh-oh, we got a surprise guest.
Well, we did, but I'm not seeing him right now. Let's pull in his car owner, actually, though. Hang on.
Oh, I don't even know what is happening right now.
Give us one moment here, folks. Here he is. Ryan, Blake, Jesse, and Christian up in the booth. You copy?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Boy, what an interesting race. We were hoping to talk to Mr. Grano there. I'm sure he was unhappy after that race. What a rough race for him, was it not?
Yeah, well, I mean, I got to watch everything for the last 53 laps, so.
Oh yeah, I see here you are our last place finisher. Congratulations, you finished in 21st here tonight.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Yeah, well,
Wish it didn't happen, but honestly surprised it took as long as it did. So,
yeah, just a bad night for your team overall. Honestly, looks like Greno finishes 15th, Hesseling 16th, and you're 21st. Probably as bad as you could have imagined.
oh yeah. I mean, Granat, and so he got into something early on, and then Hessling there at the end was I was kind of trying to just guide him through, and he was getting used, he was using up, and ended up getting DQ'd for too many incidents. So it took his top 10 and dropped it down more. So
Yeah, well, definitely interesting to see. And I think Jesse's got a point to add. You mentioned the 81 was involved in a wreck at the end. Jesse, was he involved in a little more than that?
I think the 81 was involved in almost literally every caution, if not every caution tonight, plus some other stuff. So I think he had about 7 or 8 incidents there. I think he might get a super cut of just him from this race.
poof.
Yeah, well, hey, unfortunately, the bad luck continues, though, for you here this season. But hey, eventually, I promise it's going to work out. At least we did have that long green flag run at the start of this race. But then after that, it just kind of turned into a madhouse on these restarts.
Yeah, I mean, early on it was kind of fun being up there. The two tires was a gamble and kind of paid off. I think Devin there at the end was on 50 something lap old tires. You couldn't pass. You had to use up the person ahead of you or wait for them to just pound the wall down. And so I mean, we kind of all were just sitting pretty early on. And I mean, the I think Thomas ended up throwing that caution on accident, but it was I was hurting a little bit. The hands were they were working. So but yeah, I mean, it was a good first half, and then it all just went downhill with everyone at the end.
Yeah, and we definitely can confirm it was hard to pass. We had Giovanni Klein was running in second there for the longest time. He had no front bumper, so it was just that hard to pass. A guy with no bumper was just unpassable there for a while until he finally got shuffled back. But hey, we'll send
Yeah,
you. Oh, go ahead.
no, I'm the reason. Well, not me, but my rear bumper is the reason why his front bumper got loose. So
Yeah.
I'll just leave it at that, and we'll see what goes on from here on out.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. You're running up front before you're involved in the wreck there, but you're going to take home a last place finish. We'll send you back down to your team so you guys can start working on those cars for next week.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, guys.
All right. There's Ryan Nardone. Figured we pull him in here since his team had a rough night. But, Jesse, I think it's time to talk with our race winner, Noah Tills. Go ahead. Get him in here.
All right, let's do it. Noah, it is Jesse and Blake up in the booth. Do you got a copy?
I got you.
Hey, man, congratulations on the win, getting in the right spot at the right time. I think you led probably the last 20, 25 laps of this thing. Tell us about it.
Yeah. Start of the race, like everybody said, it's just hard to pass here. So just trying to maintain position. But I had a real good pass against, I want to say it was Tyler Hessling. He got 2 tires on the first caution. And thank you to him for making that a clean race. It could have got real dirty real fast. But no, yeah, it was all about positioning at this track. So very happy where I finished and also very happy where my teammate finished. 1-2 is pretty good.
Absolutely. It was a great run for you. You've been up front every single week, and I think this is this your first win of the season?
Yeah, the first 2 weeks that I started, I got 4th, and then last week I got crashed out. So it feels good to come back and win.
Yeah, it's got to feel good. Finally parking at victory. I'm not sure where we're at next week, but should be a good one, though. Before you head out, though, Christian, down in the pits, you have anything for our race winner, Noah Tills?
Well, you mentioned how hard it was to pass out there. You just was in the right space at the right time. I just want to say congratulations on your race win, and how do you feel going into Iowa next week?
I've never raced Iowa, so I mean I never raced this track either until an hour before the race started. So hopefully that's a good luck sign. I'll just do the same thing I did this week.
I was going to ask, are you a short track guy?
No, not at all. I hate them actually. So I was surprised I qualified P2 based on practice and everything. I thought it was going to be around 10th or so. So I was very, very happy with the result that I got in qualifying.
There you go.
But yeah, once again, shout out to my teammate for getting second. That was huge. 1-2 is huge, and also shout out to Twist T.
All right. Well, hey, giving shout outs to the sponsors. We'll give you one more chance. Do you have any last words for the fans at home before you head out to celebrate your race win here at Irwindale Speedway?
Oh, I pretty much said it all. I'm gonna celebrate with a few twisted teas. Go congrats to my teammate and have a good night.
There you go. Well, Noah Tills, your race winner here tonight. Congratulations, Noah. We hope to see you here later on in the season.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir. There's Noah Tills in the 20-car parking at Victory Lane. Now, Jesse, what were your thoughts on this race since we're finished here?
I feel like tonight the Irwindale Speedway Memorial 100 kind of flew by. We had those 2 green flag runs early, and we just ticked off the laps, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, it's lap 50. Whoa, it's lap 80. Oh my gosh, it's 1 to go. It just kept flying by really quick. My pick to win it, unfortunately, I'm not even sure where the 59 finished. He finished all the way in 19th, so that usually is about how my luck goes. I don't even know. Did you make a pick? You did. But
Yeah,
I don't think you were right either.
No, it was Tyler Hessling. I took. He was running up front all night long, and then he was involved in an incident there at the end. But nonetheless, so like you said, this was a pretty interesting race. We had a little bit of everything. Had some long green flag runs. It went by pretty quickly, and then we had a few cautions that really spiced things up, junked a few fast race cars, gave Noah Tills the right opportunity to park it here in Victory Lane. Christian, what are your thoughts here on the race?
I thought it was a good action-packed race. I can report that Tyler Gernot's crew chief has been ejected from the track. Nathan Fryer's crew chief was found behind his pit box, not in good shape. He's in the Fryer Medical Center now, but Tyler Gernot's crew chief ejected. And I've also learned that Devin McIntosh's crew chief also got in a fight with Giovanni Klein as he got out of his car. They were not happy with each other, and the drivers ended up pulling them apart.
Well, that's good to know. But so yeah, like me and Jesse said, and I think Christian will agree, a little bit of everything here tonight on the Hutchinson Motorsports TV, presenting the Super Star ARCA West race here at Irwindale, the Irwindale Speedway 100. Jesse, Christian, any final words before we round out the night?
Go ahead, Christian, if you got any.
I'm ready to go to Iowa now. Irwindale was fun. I don't know what Iowa has to offer, but we're going to see if we can do any better than we could here at Irwindale. I think it's a little bit longer. I hope the concession stands are a little bit better because this food was terrible. There's no wonder they closed this place down.
Christian, I hope you like corn. That's all they got.
Oh, my God. I do not eat corn. I bag enough of it during deer season.
Oh, so is it true you're spreading some around your tree stand? Is that right?
Always, you got to keep them deers fed so they come and feed you next spring.
Absolutely. Well, Jesse, go ahead with your final thoughts here tonight.
Yeah, we're going to be leaving sunny California and going to, as you said, corn country Iowa. That's going to be quite a trip for some of these teams. And you got a few teams making it without their crew chief. Apparently the 81's team there might have to find a substitute for the next week or 2 or 4 or 8. But anyways, if you're still watching, make sure you hit the like button on the stream. It helps support us. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 500 subscribers. We're getting pretty close. So if you could help us out in any way with that, that would be much appreciated. And the last thing, check out our Discord, Hutchinson Motorsports TV Discords, where you can find information on all the leagues we broadcast, meet the staff. We've got all sorts of special events we do once a month. It's a really nice place to hang out and chat with other iRacers, so check it out.
Absolutely. Jesse bringing up some good points. All that information is in our video description, our Discord link, all kinds of stuff in there. So check it out. Be sure, like you said, like and subscribe. We're getting close to 500 subscribers. And folks, we're going to be doing a subscriber giveaway once we get near 500. We're still rounding out some details. So go ahead, subscribe, enter yourself in that event early on, because trust me, everybody that subscribes is going to have a shot to win in the Hutchinson Motorsports TV subscriber giveaway. But that's going to round out the night here tonight. Irwindale Speedway Memorial 100 is in the books here for the Super Star ARCA West Series. Like Jesse and Christian said, next week we're going to be at Iowa. Not going to be a fun trip. I tell you what, it is boring. There's nothing but cornfields. That's all Iowa has. But nonetheless, we're going to race it out. It's still at least a pretty interesting track. But I heard the concession stand kind of sucks. So Christian's going to have to suck it up and deal with a bad concession stand. But nonetheless, that's going to round out the night here here tonight. We're going to play the Hutchinson Motorsports TV anthem, the best tunes in the business. You know, me and Christian were in the booth for hours building this anthem. And Christian, before we head out, what do you think of the Hutchinson Motorsports TV anthem?
You know, I came up here to enjoy the AC with you guys while we're gone before we leave. But the anthem, you know, we spent hours upon hours working on it. It's honestly the best anthem any other broadcasting has. You know, it's the best in the world, best there is, best there ever will be. It's just, you know, like Hutchinson Motorsports TV, #1.
Absolutely. Well, good point, Christian. So that's going to round out the show tonight, folks. Once again, we appreciate you tuning in. Be sure to click the like button on the video. Subscribe to the page. Check out the Discord, all kinds of information. We'll see you here next time. We're going to be here tomorrow night as well. We're going to have the All-American Cup Series in the Gen 4s. Can't remember where we're at. I don't know. But nonetheless, we're going to be here. So be sure to tune in live here tomorrow night where Blake, Christian, and Jesse will be in the booth ready to roll. Till next time, see you then.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is